what you're working on.
About, like,
Is our thing for the floor down there?
Not till after I talk to you.
Okay.
okay.
And the Barragio is gonna hold off till next month. They're not
No,
gonna do anything
Right,
for
just
this
getting
month,
it
so.
posted so I know what
Yeah.
to put in.
Yeah. Actually, they might do it at, if we do a workshop, they might come in and do it at the workshop, so we might
Okay.
not have to do it
Just
at
let me
all.
know so I can put it on the agenda, because I, even though I see them back and forth, I kind of
Yeah.
know what's gonna be coming on and.
Yeah, well, well, she said that, and like, we just got those things in today, so we haven't had a chance to look at them yet. Not that I know what I'm looking at when I look at it, but the engineer came and got it, so.
I guess that's what we call it, the package for the fire company. They load the ball fields in the fire company. Because it's not that.
Love to see the ball fields used.
Okay, I guess we'll get going. This, we don't have to do the pledge, I don't think. John, okay, start off with, John, if you got anything on the cleaner, if you
Should be on.
Yeah, I talked with the cleaners, and then I talked it over with Darlene, and she said it one, and as the cleaners had said one time they had a checklist and all that, and Darlene found it online, or not online, but in the records, a checklist for the cleaner. And there's some stuff that's not done anymore, not area's not clean, whatever, and I'm gonna revamp that.
Okay.
And I talked to them, they're willing to cooperate with us. And I talked, and a big thing it was, I don't know where the majority of complaints come from. Everybody I talked to said they were pretty happy with what they were doing. They were happy with what they were doing. So where were there was complaints, but were the complaints, you know? I just don't know about
Well,
that.
Darlene said that there was stuff in her office, but it wasn't nothing bad, but she said there was stuff in it.
There was with the previous cleaners also. It's just stuff if you
It's
just say to
working.
them, please, can you do such and such? Sure, they did it right away. So
And you said you're gonna take on revamping this?
But there's
It's
a,
like a daily to-do list kind of thing.
yeah, it's a to-do list. You
So
check
that's gonna
in,
be
you
submitted
clean
back
in
to
here,
us.
you
You're
check
not-
in, you do this, you check it, you do this, you check it.
That's gonna be submitted back to us to go over too, though. You're not just taking responsibility for that yourself.
This is the old one that was there.
The new one, though, you said you're gonna do.
The new one's gonna be the old one.
I haven't even seen the old one.
Well, neither had I, neither had they. The cleaners had seen it. They knew it, they used to check it, and they didn't know where it went. And I mentioned it to Darlene, and she looked for it, and she found it.
they checked that for years and years and years. And finally, it's like, they do the same. Why do we got to, keep doing that? So I just said, you know what, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable for, that was a thing we wanted to do, was to have some accountability and make sure that things were getting done, so that would look better going forward. Okay, you and Ed met with Joe about the cyber policy.
Yeah, we went over, it was quite in depth. A couple changes.
Okay, what'd you have for changes?
The access to the lockup, where all the hard drives are all locked up in. The only access would be the town board members.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, he suggested
He
it.
suggested that this way, it's just the board's responsibility.
okay, so the server, so we only have, I think we've kind of done that a little bit by changing some of the, the key cards. Because I think it might even have been just Bill and I at one point.
I think Dale was on there too. Dale.
Yeah, because we were, well, see, the thing is, the panic,
Dale was on it, wasn't Dale on it? Just
For
in
the
case
building.
something happened.
Yeah, because of buildings and
Right.
there's building and maintenance, he was there.
because panic was shut down for the panic alarm was in there, and so that would have to,
Yeah, somebody had to be there for that, I'm sure.
so, yeah.
There's a couple other things. like for security, they got a 30-minute, the software isn't used in 30 minutes, it automatically locks down. And I mean, there's a lot of good things he came up with, and I think it's a good idea to do it. So
When we talked with him, we had a copy. That's the state one here.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's the state one. He went through it. These are all his notations on here.
Yeah.
He went through it and showed us that everything the state wants
yeah,
and the cyber policy,
they cover.
they cover it. He just put the pages on this one here
Yeah,
all the, for what's in
for what's in that one.
that one. You guys all got a copy. of that, right?
yeah. And they got a backup system. You got a backup here in the lockup, and then everything goes back to his place too. There's a backup there too. Also, it records everything, where it's being used, and what's what they're using it for, and everything else like that. So for security. But no, I definitely think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, that's getting to be more and more of an issue, so, anything else you guys had on that?
No, he pretty well covered.
Yeah,
You covered it and explained to us, and we were there an hour with him. He was going through everything with us.
That's about what I spent the time with, before he presented the first time, I just, I had him kind of hit the high points, because it's a lot of it would be on my understanding. Okay, John, you had something about the, youth commission?
Right. I went to the meeting for the youth. I went to the meeting for the youth commission, and they were looking to get a little more money for it. And they were seeing if everybody could ante up a little more, because like everything, the cost of the wages and everything's going up. We allotted 6,500.
Yeah, we have not,
What do they want?
They only wanted like, well, they would like to get 1,500. That was the number they threw out.
Total,
1,500 more.
15.
they're
More.
allocated 65.
65.
We did expend that all to them last year. Parks and, well, the other one that's similar to that is Parks contractual.
Yeah, the one above that. Is
Yeah,
Yeah, so your parks contractual at the top, and then there's the youth program one
yeah,
as well.
okay. So.
I was
guess
thinking when I was on the committee before John was, I was thinking that we usually make sure, we usually give them 500 at a time. What we did with Shelby,
We had, I don't know how.
when me and Mike were doing it, when they were asking,
raise it 500 every
yeah,
year.
until we got.
Well, I would be agreeable with that because
Yeah.
I'll bring Ridgeway. Ridgeway's amount they were giving was, I believe it was 5650. So if we tossed in another 5, it put us to 7, and let's see where Ridgeway comes up.
Yeah, and then Ridgeway, and then there was Yates too in there, and I don't know if Ridgeway and Yates were together or if Yates was anteing up on their own. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I know that, but I'm thinking that that's what we did. But we could always, cut back if that's what you guys want to do. But.
Well, if you want to put another 1,500 on them.
Well,
No,
Let's-
I don't
let's-
think we need 1,500 on the 65.
Did they say what they're gonna use it for?
Just paying the help, basically.
Yeah, you got the girl that programs everything, and you got the lifeguards if they have the pool.
It includes a swimming. Yeah, that's the big thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the lifeguards were one of the main cost factors. And then they try to do things where sometimes they have a little cost factors maybe for fuel or something when they're going to play basketball or going somewhere on a little road trip or something. I'm not sure about the fuel cost because
I know when I looked at the Parks contractual last year, we did not spend any of that. And I'm not sure if that was because of COVID or not, but we did put that in the budget.
I don't think we did because of the
I think they
COVID, because everything was closed.
So that'll probably be going out, but we've got, there's, if we stay within this fund, we got some places we could probably, find maybe what are you thinking, 1,000 then, or what are you thinking?
Well,
I think 500.
I think 500, we're already
Yeah,
doing
let's,
65 and Yates, or
yeah, let's,
Ridgeway's only doing
let's
56.
let's
Right, yeah, let them
5650.
step
Yeah,
up.
so let
Let
them
let
ante up a
put it
little
on.
bit.
That was kind of my thought when we were doing it.
So adding 500, okay,
Yeah,
we'll Okay, now the fun one, the lawn bids, or the lawn, whatever, yeah, I guess they're lawn bids, they weren't sealed, but.
If they aren't sealed, they can't be bids, Jeff. They weren't sealed. It's all the proper thing.
You know, I
There's only
honestly
two of
don't
them.
know, does it have to come in by sealed bid?
They always do.
They always have, but they like have to.
I don't know if they have to, but they always do. And now that is what Dale had asked if we could see our bids from last year.
Yeah.
And then he asked me to copy them for him.
Mhm.
And that's when I knew they were going to be looking at someone from mowing lawn. And then all of a sudden, the ad was in the paper, and it just said to pick up packet at Town of Shelby. And so it's like, we don't have packets. If someone comes here, we have no packets. So what Dottie did was type up and change the time according to what was in the paper.
Mhm.
So if someone picked up a packet, it was there. So that packet was what we used last year. So whether Dale changed his packet and didn't let us know, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know what Dale, I was gonna ask him what his packet looked like today, but I didn't see him, so.
Well, I know that I talked to Dale and I told Dale that the lawn bids had to get out pretty soon because May was coming.
Mhm.
So I haven't talked to him to find out that he had put them out already, but I told him they had to get going. So he
Yeah.
must have got them going then, and,
Well, they were in the Penny Saver in March.
okay,
It ran 2 weeks.
yeah, okay. So I told him they had to get out because with May coming, we had to have somebody hired. I also told him that if the bids come in too high, that I thought maybe the board would check into buying a couple lawnmowers and putting 2 or 3 guys on part-time. At least the lawnmowers would be an investment that we keep, but the part-time help. I don't know, by the time you pay 3 guys, you know, what are you gonna end up paying them? 16, 18 bucks an hour a piece.
You talking our guys or hiring?
Hiring.
No,
Hiring out guys.
part-time.
So, and we don't have a lot of time to hire somebody to be part-time. We gotta find somebody to be responsible. Then we have our trailer and we're gonna be losing a truck to them too.
Right.
So you gotta figure that we're gonna have, just say we have 3 guys at a minimum of 25, 26 hours a week. And you were paying them,
Well, then,
say $18 an
yeah,
hour.
but then what happens too if we hire part-time people? Sorry. What happens if we hire part-time people? Do they fall under and just say they have an accident with a mower
Oh, yeah,
or
they
run
gotta be
over?
insured.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they
So
gotta be insured. So
is
that's
it-
something that
is
you
it,
gotta take under consideration.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's
Because these guys are all bidding this and they're all.
they're all
insured.
insured.
yeah.
So, right. That's
there's
yeah.
in here that-
Liability and
In
everything.
seen the bid packet. Now you don't know.
Is this from this year, John?
Yes, this is the one we
Well,
had.
that's the one we typed up from what was last year,
Okay.
because he took that and copied it. Now, whether he used that bid sheet, I don't know. But
It's
it's,
See that.
that statement of insurance you gotta have and
Right, it
Yeah.
states
all that
insurance,
stuff, yeah.
gotta have. seems like it's a million
Yeah, I don't know if that-
but whether
I'd
that's
be
the same
afraid to
bid
have
sheet
somebody
that
go out
he
there.
used, I don't know.
Isn't
I
really
never saw
familiar
it.
with the
See, that's
cemeteries.
in the circumvented what we're supposed to do.
Doing stuff.
Doing that.
Something
That's not.
cause damage.
Well, yeah, that's,
Who's the Sunshine Lawn Service? Who's?
he's the guy that lives across the road from me. I don't know. what
Oh,
it was.
okay. Yeah.
I think the guy that runs the Sunshine is Cody something, but his father is a Taviano. I don't even know how to pronounce the last name. I didn't even know, but I see the Sunshine truck there,
Oh,
and I know
yeah.
he plows driveways or plows in the winter. I haven't talked to him about it. I didn't even know he was contacted until I see the
You were
bid.
thinking 25 hours a week per guy, right?
That's,
Yeah, right?
well, I'm guessing
Okay,
25.
so we're guessing, so we're saying 75 hours. And then if we go.
They were paying what, $12.50, I think. Remember, Miranda, what they were paying for help a couple of years ago?
For the part-timers?
Yeah.
It was
That-
12.50. Yeah.
You have to be more
Yeah, but they gotta be 15 at least now,
Yeah,
minimum wage.
minimum wage.
And you're gonna have to have somebody that's responsible. You
Right,
can't have,
right,
you
right.
know.
Wonder what they were paying.
That's $1,100.
So how much is that a week?
It'll be about $1,100.
7,500.
11.25.
11.25, and how many weeks we talking here for 26?
26 weeks.
So,
And
29,000. Then you got to buy mowers.
yeah,
And that's
And you gotta
gonna
have
be
self-insurance. Or you gotta have some kind of insurance.
It's
The
gonna be-
mowers we could use if we wanted to go that route. We could use the
You gotta
for
figure-
that.
Probably 20 grand for mowers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we got our
Oh,
zero
yeah,
turn.
yeah.
We got our zero turn for what?
That I mean,
Last time, that was
we
a-
could use that COVID money for that. That's part of doing business as a town. Or doing general business.
Well-
I just don't know if we're gonna get further ahead if we talking.
We could use that. Well, I don't. It's just doing that's it under general business, general
Oh, yeah,
running,
yeah.
running the town. It wouldn't have. They wouldn't have any way to come back on it.
But then you're talking 2 mowers, then you're talking weed whackers, then you're talking fuel.
Yeah, you got fuel. You're gonna, and we're gonna be tying up a truck in the
Yeah.
trailer.
Well, I don't know if this one is that bad deal, truthfully.
No, you're gonna be
Well,
talking,
it's, what was last year? 30, 39? Yeah, it's
So
38,
this one's
39.
at 44.
38, 38, right.
44.
It was one price and we complained that it was too high and they dropped it
Yeah,
back.
they did, right.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause I
but
think it
right
it
now with
came
the
in at
fuel
like
cost,
40 something.
Yeah.
That's probably not outrageous for
This one,
So we gotta
sunshine.
but that's the guy that's
rebid,
been
so we
doing
really
it.
shouldn't be
It
talking
came
about
in
this.
58.
It shouldn't be because it was never done.
It's $233
No, it's not. It's
per
not.
cemetery.
County show.
Each time. It seems.
Right. Well, I know this other guy that came in with the high bid. I'm not gonna say the numbers now, because I think we need to put this back.
Yeah.
and do it right. But the other guy, he pruned for me, and guy is an amazing pruner, and he can get a lot done. But he cost me almost double what my regular guys do. He can get twice as much done, you know, he's a great guy, and good worker, but he's not afraid to
Oh,
charge.
yeah, I wonder if we kind of reach out to him, maybe if they'll come down a little bit. That's
Well, we gotta redo this. This is the state
So-
rule. This you just can't say, hey, here's the bids. You can't do that.
Well, New York State's now allowing electronic email bids as well as considered sealed bids. They changed it in 2020.
Did they?
Yeah, I just looked it up to make sure like what policy.
Okay, so let's
Because
just
of
keep
COVID,
this.
they changed it. They updated it a little bit. So
Yeah, as long as they're confidential, it'll be fine.
yeah, that's what it says. As long as it says like at the bottom,
Yeah.
this is like
So who do they go to?
confidential. It's
Do we go to the town clerk, correct?
It
That's
doesn't-
usually all the bids go
it just
to.
says that electronically sealed bids have been from the new standard as of May 12th.
I'm going to my conference, I'll ask
Yeah,
about
this-
that.
Yeah.
we're not doing it by email. Okay, so we're gonna rebid
But
that.
that's
one,
gonna, yeah, but we gotta do that, like,
Yeah,
right?
quick.
ASAP.
The grass is getting green now.
yeah.
Well,
'cause
to put an ad in the penny
Without breaking
saver,
mine
it's
today,
gonna
it
have to,
was
if I can put it in Thursday, it would be
Yeah.
in this week's penny savers. We gotta do something before Thursday.
Before Thursday. yeah,
Before
cut
noon,
off.
because
Noon.
noon is their deadline.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we agreed that that's gotta get done, I mean, we can vote on
Yeah.
stuff next
Tuesday.
Tuesday, but
Well,
yeah,
we gotta rebid it, cause it's not done right, so.
yeah.
well, then Dale should contact these people also and tell them that they've got to be sealed bids or rebid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put a
Agree with
thing,
that, too.
I'll put a thing on my Facebook, on New York State Town Clerk to ask them, because they're being done electronically, who do they go
Yeah.
to?
That's fine.
yeah, email there.
Mhm.
But they could still probably send them in envelope too.
Oh, yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
they?
I think we can.
Yeah.
accept them that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want me to contact Dale and tell them that they got to be rebid?
And there's a package you gotta get, because there's a non-collusion form you gotta fill out. There's 2 or 3 different forms you gotta fill out when you do it. It's in the package.
Well, then I'll just tell them they got to pick up a
That was
package.
done by, I think Bethany last time, I'll just ask her if we can just change the word, like the dates and,
I think it looked
Copy and paste, copy and
Yeah.
paste.
It looked pretty good. Like I said, it was in there.
Okay.
Okay, moving right along, we had a request for, we actually had a petition brought in for getting water for 3 houses on Fletcher Chapel, no, on 63 and the church. And we got back to him and haven't heard back. We explained to him how it was, when we looked at that water district over on, extending Furnace Parkway, it was the water was gonna be close to third more to do it that way. And I think that what the engineer figured out that one was gonna be about $900 a year, including water. Where, no, the normal one was $900, I'm sorry, the normal water user, but $900 a year. that thing is gonna be like 1680 or something a year if we just extended that short line. If we put that in with other projects, of course, it would reduce the thing down. We relayed that message to those folks. We have, we have.
I haven't heard anything.
You know,
Yeah, that's the only-
There's,
Where
there's,
the church-
there's,
where the
there's two
church-
houses there's one by the church and there's a couple
Right.
across the road. Or
One by, there's only one across the road.
One across and then the church, so there's three parcels, three,
three parcels. Okay.
yeah.
And I guess they hold a school there, and you know, and they were thinking that the town would, you know, put the bill for the water. We had to inform them that's not the case. But we haven't heard back. I mean, if they wanted to pay for it, we could sure do it. But I know at that rate, it's going to be, you know, 35 years of paying.
Yeah, there'll be astronomical amount of coverage for that they'd have to pay. If we could have another water line going in somewheres and they could jump on that, the cost factor would go down because it could be added on as like water line 22 with extension 21A or 22A or something like that, you know.
You know, there's a history, like there's a district 10, I think, it's like here and here and
Right, right.
here. You know, we had said the same thing to the folks at Flex Parkway. If we could get something else going, you know, we would just roll that in. But the engineering cost is what really cost us. So. Okay, Steve, you know about the salt iron roof repair?
Okay. Yeah,
Talk into
when,
your microphone.
okay, oh, I thought I was. I talked to Dale about it. That windstorm took off quite a bit of shingles, and I believe that we're going to end up probably having to redo the whole roof. There's not much sense of doing a half on it because of the way the shingles are done, and the building itself is probably 20 years old, so it's probably, yeah. So I don't know that if he'd want to go with shingles or steel. He hasn't told me that yet, but I'm thinking he's probably got to get some kind of pricing and come back to us.
Would there be a insurance claim on that or on the wind?
Well, I don't know. I imagine he could probably find out, Ed, but whenever anybody does work for the town, it has to be, they have to be like, what do I want to say, bonded, like when
Right.
they built the building. So then we have to pay like a union scale wage or something, because you just can't hire somebody off the street. So that's something I know that we did that when the salt barn was built. Like Parco built it, or whoever built it, and they got to pay union wage. Yeah, if Dale talked to, he was talking, he was going to contact them. He just hasn't contacted me back to find out where we are.
I think he said something about 11,000. Maybe he had somebody.
I haven't had, he hasn't talked to me on it.
Well, whatever you spend in King, we can spend. Limit much, but still, we can money ahead.
I don't know what Steve, you know, it was gone up. When I did my house a few years ago, it was actually just about the same money because they charged less to put the steel on.
Mhm.
Shingles on.
Well, that's something that we got to go through.
Okay, Ryan, we got PA, we're talking about, court repair.
Yeah, Steve,
The roads,
Steve and I did our audit with
Dawn.
Judge Kepler, and she expressed a want or desire to have new carpet put in over there, and I think we talked about that before. New carpet, perhaps, hopefully, a new bathroom put
Well,
in for the
a
clerks.
section.
Or yeah, just
Just a
kind
sec-
of sectioned off. The bathroom needs to be sectioned off so that the clerks have access to it, and then so it basically make two bathrooms, one for the public during court, one for the clerks during court.
Correct.
And
Some
while we're-
painting.
Yeah, and while we talked to her, we said, while we're doing, if we did the carpet, we might as well do painting, and if the drapes are, breaking apart and fragile and stuff. So
Actually, those are the same the same drapes in the building that was here when we moved here.
Oh, really?
yeah,
That's been a while.
yeah, from the
Yeah, they're still-
from the-
they're pretty
electric-
plastic in
electric
there.
or NYSEG or whatever was here. So she would like to see some updates for that. Apparently, there's a couple of rips in the carpet over there where
She has been
some
wanting that
people-
for a long time.
Yeah, she
I
said,
mean,
said
years.
someone either tripped or
Yeah.
their chairs got caught in the carpet or something like that. So it's kind of becoming a hazard. So, and that's, that's one of the things that we can use, for the fund over there. We're going to have to get, we'll have to get a quote or get a bunch of quotes and find out how much it's going to be. I don't know if we could probably get the guys to do the painting stuff on the day that don't have anything to do, or a weekend or something like that.
Remodel in the bathroom, everything.
Well, we figured that Jeremy and those guys could remodel the bathroom.
Right.
I mean, all I gotta do is put a fake wall up and do a little plumbing. And we thought that if maybe, rainy day job, man, put them in there with a bucket of paint, and
Go
Yeah.
go for it.
we
It's
wanna,
gonna be-
we
it's gonna be
want,
a big project. I mean, that's a lot of.
Yeah.
Steve schooled me on how much carpet it's going to take to.
it's gonna be
put it
expensive.
over there.
I
So
think
it's gonna
too
be-
that
it's gonna be
the
kinda pricey.
entryway and around the back wall,
Where the
that should
wood- where the
be
wood is.
that should be all new Pergo waterproof stuff. And then the rug would be continued to the front. That was my suggestion, and she agreed with it. And I'd like to see something like that done, or maybe even in the hallway where they come in on the other room. Instead of having carpet there, we could have that waterproof Pergo put in, and it might wear better.
We were thinking, I think when we talked to her about it, we talked about getting separate estimates, one for just doing the main area
Mhm.
with the carpet and the pergo, and then also for
The judge's office,
the
and the clerk's
office and the other what the other kind of offshoots over there.
But
The
she
other
wanted
rooms
the
and
other
whatnot.
little side offices done
Yeah.
too, and I said, well, let's not get carried away. Let's
Right.
just try to get
Make
the
sure-
main,
Make sure we get the first
Yeah.
thing done.
let's try to get the main part done first.
But that's
Seeing how much
something-
that's gonna cost.
That's definitely something that we can use those funds for. That the repair to the salt roof is something that we can use the funds for also. I mean, if we don't get the insurance claim and stuff for it. I mean, we'll have to sit down and see when it's all said and done, how much, the computers have cost and the software and stuff to see actually how much we have left in the account, and then we'll kind of go from there.
The training, hardware costs are pretty much fixed when we got those.
Yeah.
They're pretty much set. So the training could be open, depending on how many hours, each area needs. So,
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I think all of us can agree if we've got, if we do these things and we've got enough money left over, that we should probably use the rest of it for something tangible.
Yeah.
Put a down payment on a truck or a excavator or something.
Well, we just
Something
got the
big
new
like
estimate,
that.
but Dale had mentioned that he would like to use maybe the funds if there was money left over, or we could put stuff in to buy more salt ahead of time before there was a price increase. But he also wanted to know if we could use money towards a new truck. We could start setting an account up for a truck. And I told him that I would talk to the board about that. I mean, maybe seeing how much we have, maybe we could give them a little for salt and a little for a truck, or maybe the salt could wait and put the money towards the truck, because that is going to be an investment that we're going to need.
If you've got a list of things, let's make out the list. And we'll sit down and prioritize them. Everybody just take and number them, how we think they should be.
Well, I think that,
And go from there. Like I've got one here, should be on there, tying the generator. You got the generator.
well, I
out
thought
there.
that was already, we were talking about doing that. I thought we talked about
We
that.
were, but it's not on the list
Oh, well,
anymore. See what I'm saying? If you, everything you've got, that you want to do.
I thought the only reason the generator hasn't been tied in yet, John, was because we're waiting for National Grid to hook theirs up, and then that was going to go hooked up then. That's what I believe.
They've got to change the generator over from two way. They've got to do something.
Well, yeah, but they can't do anything until the new system is set up outside there that they got to hook up to. That's what they were waiting on doing, I believe, or that's how come it hadn't been done yet.
I think that's a good idea, that we just get all this together and, the trucks can be,
That's the kind of board.
No, I don't have no problem with that.
Right, yeah.
I know that we talked about it all, but I thought that was the deal, John, was they just,
If that's
National
something-
Grid
I mean,
has-
I agree with that. I mean, if that's something that
That way,
they're
if we
not
have a
gonna
power outage.
right. I mean, if they're not going to do that, if that's not part of what they said they were gonna do, then that's probably a good idea too. Because that's, because it's- right, and it's practical, it's something that should be done, and we can get it done using that money, then that's probably,
That comes
probably
down
good,
to
you know.
town clerk, that
Right,
everybody
yeah,
here
you need-
serves the people, and it needs to be served out of here
Right.
instead of
Well, and that's, and it's,
shutting
and
it,
it's,
shutting it down.
right, and it's practical too, it's something that needs to be done and can be done.
Was that generator ever operational or?
Yeah, they ran it, they started
did
it
it?
up. I heard it run there one day. But
But it's not hooked up to the,
no,
the
well,
building.
that, and it needs something internally changed.
All
It's
right.
compatible with the power we got here. Guess we can
Right.
do it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, that's, I
a
think,
different kind
I
of
think,
3-phase or
Give
something.
Right.
them the village
but I think that's,
Oh,
I think
okay,
that's a
yeah.
good idea, if we can come up with a list of, 10 things, everybody kind of bring a list and figure out what they want to do or what we want to try and do with the rest of that money, then we can kind of narrow it down and figure it out. I mean, getting the carpet and stuff like that is all stuff that, needs to be done to make the building, feasible for the future. So,
Right.
I mean, that fits right in with that.
Not only are we painting, we paint inside, the outside.
Yeah, the outside needs to be painted too.
That's pretty bad.
Right. Yeah, but that's all stuff that, we should look at and do. There's no reason not to do it. That's especially if we can get the guys here to do it for us, then it shouldn't be that hard at all. Scrape it down, and paint her up.
No, the court system covers the village and Ridgeway. They all do it here, do they? No, do we get any funds from either one?
They pay a rental fee each month,
Oh yeah. What is the rental fee?
800.
800 a month. That's for each municipality, or?
It's just for Ridgeway.
Just Ridgeway.
Oh,
I think
Yates
Medina,
doesn't- Yeah, Yates doesn't use this, the
Yeah.
village doesn't use it.
Oh, okay.
doesn't use it anymore.
It's just Shelby Ridgeway.
Right.
Well, the other thing we share is, the assessor. But,
Yeah.
Now it's also going to be now after the first of the year, the code guy is going to be ours down there.
Code, yeah, that's
So
right.
We pay them a set fee, but it's
Yeah.
everybody a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna make up a list on that then? and-
Yeah, why don't everybody just kind of come up with a list of stuff that they want, and we'll kind of go through it, at the next meeting or the next workshop. Because I figured by then we should probably know how much
How
the
much we're
software
getting.
and all the stuff has cost us and how much we'll have left.
No, the software is going to be covered totally by the ARPA money.
And the equipment.
And the computers and all that stuff.
And the training also.
Yep.
And the training's up, and that's why I was kind of pushing to get that done, because I wanted,
Yeah.
to get the final figures on those things, so we knew how much money we had to spend on these other things.
Right.
And, so we, because that way we would get after it sooner. Okay, next thing I got on here, local law to increase supervisor term due to public hearing. Well, let's see. This is from Bethany. Please note that the town will need to hold a public hearing prior to the board voting on the local law. So at the April meeting, you would set a date for public hearing on the local law. Notice of public hearing has to be given at least 5 days prior to the hearing. Typically, they're scheduled right before the next board meeting, so it'll be May 10th at 6:30. The board needs to adopt the local law more than 60 days before the general election, so that's plenty of time. Basically, this has to go before the voters at next fall's election. We could, if we decide we want to do this, we would we hold a public hearing, and then we would vote as a board whether we wanted to put that on the ballot. It would not take effect until the next would be a year from November. You can't do it in the year when everybody's running for election. Again, and then we could hold a special election, but that to me just seemed like there's going to be why spend money when we could just do it at the general election. So the reason I was pushing this because I feel that the town clerk and the highway supervisor have that like the term, as do all the board members. This seemed to make sense to me, and especially with the supervisor job. I think if you do a couple of years before you know your hand up from the hole in the ground, basically, I think that would be good going forward. That can affect me much. So we're good with that. I just, so we're public hearing, and of course, we have to get the advertised over the usual stuff.
Here, just make sure you probably have that, so I can. Now, we'll put Bethany on that for the check voting for the thing.
Yeah. All right. Okay, with the, the stamp thing, you guys all saw had a copy of the letter, and we did review that, with Rundle. And basically, they came up with, really only a couple of things that they were concerned about, and all really, involved the outlet, as far as the construction of the outlet and the riprap there. And also, there's another thing that there's a ditch under 63 that they didn't feel that they had taken that into account when they did their calculations of how the outlet would be. So that were all things that we'd already sent on to the stamp people. Had a meeting with Lynn Johnson, Skip Draper, and Michael Dubell, who's our IDA guy, and Chuck Nesbitt and myself. We kind of brainstormed some things that we were, wanting to do based on, what the people that they were talking about. But if you remember, I've met with the county legislature a couple times. Really, nothing really came of it. This time we did wind up having a meeting, and we did come up with some ideas. I'm just going to read them off. We wanted the discharge location to be redone as stated in the report from Wendell. The discharge from the culvert on 63 should be addressed. There should be a yearly inspection of the discharge area and timely repairs as needed. There should be monitoring via Orleans County Health and other designated third party of the discharge. Now this is regular, it's outlet water that would be like the same as the water coming off the end of our sewer plant in the diamond. They have to monitor at their end, and we want additional monitoring here because it's an industrial site. We don't want, and a lot of this is after the fact. We've already signed the papers to allow them to build. Right now, they don't have some easements, so they can't build. That's kind of our luck.
We haven't got these, from that one either.
I don't know if that. They haven't really got through this. Last I knew they didn't. They brought that pipe up there and staged the chambers, and they took it away.
That's right,
Still there?
behind the building.
I looked at that, it was gone.
You were there, and back there. What?
We went through there yesterday.
Is it still there?
You can look over there and you can see it behind.
Did you move it?
It's
Yeah, because it used to be, you used to be able to really
It's behind you.
easily see it.
You can see it from Main Street, down Main Street, north to the north. You can see
Yeah,
it.
they must have.
Instead
moved
of
it.
coming down, what is that, Mill Street?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mill Street comes off of Main.
Yep.
Okay, well, you go down there and there's a building, it's the street that comes off 63 there.
What's Mill Street too?
And then
Mill
there's-
Street actually makes a circle like that.
Okay, all right. The building that's along Mill Street, part of Mill Street, that goes to
Behind that.
63, it's right behind that.
Yeah, see, I think it used to be out. It
Used to be
out
over where
front
the
more.
junk
You
or
could
where
kinda
the yard
you could
was.
see it. Yeah.
so I took pictures of it, and it was like way up front there, and then I went by and looked and didn't see it, so I assumed they moved it, but it's still there.
Yeah, they moved it from A to B.
Okay. All right, the other things we came up with, this monitoring should be paid for by Genesee County Economic Development. Shelby should recover any legal fees from dealing with the stamp issues, which have been ongoing for quite a while. GCEDC should be held responsible for what flows down the pipeline. We need to know who will run the line if stamp becomes defunct. We're concerned about the town of Alabama possibly using the line as an outlet for private users. So if they couldn't just send sewage down this line, but if the village of Alabama put in the sewer system, they would have to take it to the stamp plant, the process, sewer plant, and then send it back down the main. from what the guy told us, they couldn't just put a plant there because it's a force main, so it's under pressure, so it'd be really hard for them to lie into that without having all kinds of potential issues.
No, they're still talking 6 million gallons a day coming out.
Yeah, you know, I did some figuring on it. I didn't find the one local, but I found one down by Kenyonville, a creek monitor. I did the math, and it was like 0.14%, so it was less than a percent of increase in the creek flow, at least on that day that I looked, and that was not a big rain day or anything. But that was in the report that they said that was not an issue. They thought that the flow wasn't going to be a big issue. So, the other thing that looking at possibly, you know, this is all up in the air, but you know, looking to see if we can get some kind of compensation for the you know, what's coming down the line every 1,000 gallons or something, and possibly a split of that with, you know, Orleans County, and also wanted to put some money in a fund for future mitigation things and issues caused by the line, and they were going to have Kathy Bogan, who is the
County attorney.
going to start writing something up, and then we were possibly going to go to, you know, some other college later after that to see the deal with them. You know. But at least if the county has jumped in and is, you know, helping us out, it's not just all on shelter.
Was anything discussed with the county, you know, as part of this deal? What about the water and getting the water? And getting the water there. You can't get water in Shelby. Has anything talked about that?
We mentioned it in the meeting at the county legislature, but nothing was mentioned at this meeting about that. You know, it's just, you know, didn't get any really good answers. So,
Right.
we are kind of looking into that from other ways. So, if we can get this water cost down.
It sounds like we've covered everything for that. So,
Well, everybody's on board, because before they were basically saying, well, Shelby, you go do this. And it's like,
well, and we all know that they didn't give us any advice or any guidance when it was happening anyways. It was all after the fact. So
yeah.
I think that kind of, I think that doing the thing with Wendell and what's his name? Chuck. I think kind of eased everybody's minds a little bit too. I think that's, you know, if they're the people, the engineers, and they're paid to do it and don't see any problems with it besides what they came up with, then, you know, if we can go back and get you know, some agreements with them on some other things, I think that's good. You know, just as long as they, you know, it's what you signed the thing for 6 million gallons a day or whatever it is.
Yeah.
If it changes, I think that we need to, you know, take action.
You go back to the DEC.
Right. Yeah.
Well, what I've heard at every stage of this is that right now they're talking, maybe they're going to use like $750,000 a day if they get this.
Right, 6 million would be for like if they put
Full
3 or
build
4, yeah, right.
We'll go
Okay.
down. But then they cannot go over that without going back to DEC and go through the permitting process. All that, so then we get a chance to jump in. And
Right.
we were talking about possibly trying to, you know, write some stronger language into it if they are looking for, you know, more that we have a little, you know, if we're going to be forewarned this time.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
kind of,
Right, we expedited for their benefit to get it done. So we set the wheels in motion early. So it's only makes common sense.
well, they, you know, they got the pipe, they got the people coming in and all that. So I think they want to have something happen. That's my one conversation with one of the guys over there. And I don't know if you guys saw it. I did send you a link where we can, you know, as soon as they can meet us now, but you can look at their 4 minutes from their meeting. Of course, they go into executive session at the beginning of every meeting. So, but there is some stuff that we can do. So that's where our local IDA guy said he thought that they had got an easement with like one of the 2 people that they needed up south of Shelby. I know it's the one down on the outlet now happening. So I got the plow plan from Dale. I'm sorry, I don't have copies of this. You guys all have copies of it? Yeah, I don't know.
Mine's got
If,
pretty colors on it.
Dale was here to explain this. I think he was just trying to, he talked to some other highway superintendents and was trying to come up with a comprehensive plan for the,
I don't
for
have
how
a
we
copy
do
of
snow
that.
removal each end.
You got a copy of that, Ed?
What's that?
Yeah, we got
Make-
that.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, okay. I thought it was,
So I guess we, you know, probably best bet just to read this over and, you know, we can, I don't know if we have to pass anything or not on this. I think he was just informing us of this would be the policy that he was gonna put in place.
That's what he was asking me if we had one previously, and I said no. And he said he'd been to a, I think it was a county meeting or something where they discussed that,
Yeah,
like what times they go out and what times they come in and when, you know, when the plow season. And, he said that, you know, he was wondering if we even had a resolution, and I said no. So that's when this came about. So I don't know if
Yeah, I got
that's
one.
a resolution. Probably just go send a minute.
I'll check with Bethany on that to see if we need to have some kind of resolution on that, but I think we have to, we can just look it over, everybody can read, and we should be good. All right, and Steve, you got this thing with the furniture and highway monies, have you guys got anything handed out yet on
mm-mm,
like roads and stuff, is what's gonna be done?
no.
Still working on that, okay. We got this proposal on the back of it, but
I haven't, he hasn't given me any confirmation on anything yet.
Would that be where you're looking to do the excavator purchase on that?
No, the excavator's already been purchased. You mean on what? Excavator purchase, what are you talking about?
Right, the new excavator. We got that coming, so.
It'll be here in June or July.
we,
Yeah, we already had that money set aside and paid that.
Are we, supposed to vote on something like that, a capital purchase or no?
That was,
Our way to do, don't we?
that, we did that and we,
Before I was on, or?
I think that was before you were on. I think Bill was still here then.
yeah, you had to get some bids on it.
Well, there was 3-4 bids. There was like a Mahindra and a Cat and some other from George and Sweet or something like that.
Yeah, we don't pay the money for it. All right, I sent out an email a little too quick. I got the preliminary report from the, our auditors for the, you know, the town books that Miranda does. It is unfortunately, it's only for the 2020 year because of COVID, those folks have gotten really far behind. But Miranda said he's now starting to work on the 2021, so we should have that one sooner. The only things that came up with, let's see. And you know, those, like the reports that you had from, Darlene's audit that came out really good. We'll be getting a report like that, everybody from them, so we don't need to print out this,
Yeah,
this
just the draft.
draft copy for everybody, so. If you want one, Randy would put one out, but I don't know if it's, okay, where are we now? Okay, the things that they found in that audit were, remember, this is for 2020. So bank reconciliations are not being done, or they're being done currently, so that's what we just going forward. That was something that started mid-year last year, I believe. Okay, yeah. And I think then at the end of this year, we're gonna try to trim the accounts down, right? Once once adjustments have been made, 'cause that's part of the
That's
thing.
part of the problem, we can't do any of it until all this is cleared up in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, 'cause we had, Shelley had set up an account for every fund, which is really not needed because we can.
Tracy.
Tracy.
Tracy, yeah, I don't know. My name is either some days. Anyway, you can code stuff to tell you where the money goes. We don't need to have an account for every single fund. So that would make back reconciliations, easier. I did attend a 3-day accounting school online. And that was one of the things they were stressing too. We need to have bank reconciliations done and record of those so that, it just provides a better audit trail. The other thing that the auditors found for 2020 was the general fund expenditures were over budget in a few accounts, and I looked at in here, and I don't know, I can't find without going crazy, but they weren't any high amount. I think the highest one was like $5,000-6,000. One thing I did find out from the school that I went to, which is the one I was going to go to, and Ed was still here, and they got canceled because of COVID. We were going to go to because they had it in Batavia, I think, that year, and we never made it. Anyway, we can make adjustments within funds during the year. So basically, what they were saying, and this is what this guy is saying too, is that if we see an account is going to get over budget, we need to move some money into it so it doesn't go over budget. And and traditionally we've just done adjustments at the end of the year, and that's something we have to change going forward. But those were really the only two issues the guy found for
Well, that wasn't
that was good. And no misappropriation of funds or anything like that. So we're good. Okay. Anybody got anything else?
Yeah, just the Baraggio wind project. They just today put the reapplication in. So if you get a chance, they're gonna come in next month to do a presentation on the reapplication with some of the stuff that's changed on the application and stuff. Hopefully Kathy Bennett will be here, and the engineer, Sherman, I forget Sherman's last name. Yeah, well, they said I think they said, I'd have to check it. I think she said that they wanted to do it in the workshop, but if we don't have a workshop next month, then we'll do it at the main meeting, or maybe we can do it before, like the guys did the one time. Yeah, but it probably should be in the main meeting, especially if there's gonna be questions and whatnot, but if you get a chance, I think I have a copy, and I think Dan has a copy, and I think there's some extra ones in there. So if you get a chance to look it over, you can. It's in there before next month. Hopefully, Sherman said today, the engineer that's looking it over for us, that he should probably have like his comments and stuff done in I think 2 or 3 weeks. So we'll be able to kind of go from there too. So
Okay, I can't be part of that. So
no, you cannot.
all right, so this be good.
Okay, I'll check with Dale and get his priorities set, and I'll have him for as soon as I can for next week, maybe.
Yeah, so do we have to vote on those at the meeting or not? For the budget, how the real budget's gonna be spent? Do we need a resolution or not?
I would think probably.
I think that's an agreement with the board and.
The money's already been allotted between what we give them and this CHIPS money and all that.
Yeah.
But because it is a high expense, I think a resolution would be proper, so then we can vote on it. We'll know what roads he's planning on doing. I know that he was working on it and trying to get cost factors and stuff. Him and I rode around, I don't know, a week ago or something, looked at some roads. Or believe it or not, that little, what is it, Munzel Road on the dead end part, that's trashed. I told him, I said, if you could come up with a way, if they have recycling mix out there, even if they just use the recycling mix at whatever the road is, 16 feet instead of trying to go 18 or 20
Mhm.
and just put the oil with it, it would be a cheap way out, be a cheap fix because it's not like it gets a ton of traffic, but at least it would be something. It's really bad. Well, well, the tractors, I mean, roots probably with their cabbage stuff, but it would still be better and cheaper to use what we have than it would be. And that mix would flex where like hot mix is pretty brittle, you know, and it would be quite a cost factor. If he's got it there, I say we just put oil with it and use it and save a way out.
Have you checked in the price of oil, for the roads lately? Gotta be high.
Bids are coming out here shortly, so he'll find out. Because I know that he said he wants to start doing some paving in June if possible, if not May. Just depends on the weather, and then we gotta wait for the blacktop plants to open. So,
I know, I talked with him, a couple of days ago, we went down to the Cartwright pancakes right now. Talking about, the salt, but I guess he can
Oh, it's there
buy
too.
up to he can buy up to a certain tonnage at the price he's got now, but
Yes.
that's just gonna end at, sometime in September or August, September. So we might need to be thinking about trying to find some way to fund that. I'm not sure if we can
the
do
salt
it.
part,
Yeah.
that's what he was asking about using that AR money for. If he could buy extra salt before the price went up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we're using money for that.
That's why I thought it would be better to put it into a truck.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we need the truck line is they're getting where they're all. I mean, some of them are 20 years old. We don't have any truck that's less than 10 years old. So cost factor on replacing stuff is keep. The newest truck we got is a single axle.
Didn't get used much at first, but
So
I had a talk with Skip the other day, like after the meeting we had, and he was recommending me. He said they started to do that, and they never continued to get all the vehicles and values like that, and start setting up a plan to put money aside. Every
well,
year.
the plan was to buy a new truck every 10 years, 8 to 10 years,
Yeah.
until we got caught up.
Yeah.
That was the plan that was originally had,
Mhm.
but it fell wayside.
Yeah, well, we need to look at that because we need. I think everybody agrees we have a plan. We're looking at something.
Well, everybody here knows about mechanics, and if you don't keep up on stuff,
Have you heard anything about a request that we sent to the village about the water rate?
I have not. That's something I got. I was away for a couple, in days, and I got to get back to Bethany and see if she's heard anything. I've had some conversation with them about, what's going on with that bridge project over by the Mexican restaurant.
Mhm.
That's supposedly on hold, waiting for the grant. Supposedly we are, really well positioned for the grant, but nothing's happening.
Yeah.
So, and now they're back again where they might be asking for the money back, that original thing, so we gotta get that thing going. But yeah, that's kind of next up. I'm hoping to get through this computer stuff and then
Yeah.
get after that water thing, because that's just, it's hitting the residents every 1,000 gallons of water that goes out with.
With any of that extra money from ARPA, can they redo the parking lot? It is, it's a dip.
Yeah, out there, it's really bad.
Yeah, it is. And it's a dip, and it's got stuff, tire missing,
Yeah,
and
it's definitely something.
Yeah, definitely
We
put
can
it on
use
the
it
list.
for.
It'd be a-
I think my goal with that money is to use it on stuff that's going to be noticeable, tangible down the
Mhm.
road. That like the generator. That's that's good. Redoing the parking lot, or putting it towards a truck.
Light spends money on a lot of people, right?
So I think that's something that we should use. That like
I
if
agree.
we had to do that, that's going to be an expense to us in the budget that we wouldn't normally have. I think that having that money, we can do that, and it doesn't really cost us anything.
Right.
Yeah, LED lights would probably be half the cost of electricity, wouldn't they?
You know, there's new lights over there, that they put in, since I've been there, we had some grant to put in those bright lights.
Yeah, LED.
And, I don't remember, I might even have the, paperwork on that. And, yeah, so I remember when they did that.
Yeah, but I think what Jeff said is a good idea. Just kind of put down a list and then we'll go through what everybody kind of brings and kind of rank them and then go from there. Hopefully in a couple of months, we'll know exactly how much money we've got left and we can set it aside for, whatever projects we want to do, whether it's a truck or the carpet or painting.
You know, I
whatever.
know too, that carpet, I remember, like, it's been there since I've been there. Probably was there when they changed over to the town of Shelby. And I do know that Darren, who used to vacuum or shampoo our carpets, we'd have him come in like every year to shampoo the carpets, and always in the fall, which was the worst time because then you got all your mud and everything. But anyways, I remember he would go over there and he'd say, "You got to do something about that rug over there. I can't clean it because it's just always looking dirty, and even though you clean it, it looks dirty." And
Well,
so,
it looks like it one time, after they put the main carpet in, they had put in another carpet in the entryway that was like more heavy duty because that one, we looked at it when Don was talking to us about it, and that one's still in good shape. But
yeah,
the rest of it kind of is
it looks
deteriorating.
bad. It does look bad.
The guy that came and looked at it, with the quote, said that he could match it up to that carpet. He said if we didn't want to replace that carpet, it was still good.
I think
And
if we're,
just match it up.
We're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it all.
You'd rather do it all for sure.
and I think that instead of the carpet in the hallway there, they should put that
Yeah.
waterproof pergo and then carpeting off
Mhm.
to the offices if that's what they want, because that gets all the traffic in there.
Okay, you said, your software install is gonna
I
be.
think it's around the 13th. Well, it's when April.
Of April, okay.
Yeah, which I'm thinking, oh boy, I'm going away to conference, and
Miranda,
Poor
when this
daddy.
year is gonna be,
He hasn't said anything to
we said anything to, Roy yet?
me. Not that I'm aware of.
I think we were trying to just stagger
I
it, so.
think he was gonna do hers first.
I know Joe's doing mine on the 13th, whatever he's got to do, and then I think John from Williamson said it would be like the following week.
We were trying to get the computers in before this, no use installing software.
Well, that's Joe said a lot of it hinges on the computers and everything. So
Exciting stuff's going on.
I'll see if I can have something to report about the water for you guys sometime this meeting.
I want to do that.
So we'll have to decide if we need to have a meeting in, next month.
Yeah, I'll reach out to the Brasio people and see if they want to do it at the regular meeting or
Well,
the
yeah.
workshop.
We could still have a
Theoretically.
workshop. There's no problem with me.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if we were gonna start getting paid.
We'll be busy, but I mean, we're gonna take a couple hours off.
They give you an offer, you got easy people.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, that was my concern. I'm
Yeah.
retired, so I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, so it's probably easier for them.
Yeah, to do it. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
and I'll just make sure Kathy knows and Sherman. Yeah, here, so.